Story breakdown. In tonight's Big Story Breakdown, we're taking a look at immigration bills filed this legislative session. Leadership at the state capitol speaking to some of the measures we're seeing make their way through the state legislature.
Fox 25's Capitol reporter Paige Taylor breaks down what we're learning as this legislative session gets underway.
House and Senate leadership speaking on some of the bills we're seeing gain traction as the 2026 legislative session begins. House Bill 4422, one of the first immigration bills to be passed in committee this session. It's a bill by House Speaker Kyle Hilbert to require the Oklahoma Department of Human Services to verify a person's immigration status when they are applying for welfare benefits like SNAP. It originally also included requiring immigration status for adults applying for child-only benefits, but that portion of the bill was amended.
The thought process behind that initially being in the bill was making sure that the individuals controlling accounts are not non-citizens controlling government subsidies intended for American citizens. But then it just got too complicated as we started to talk about who the benefits for and who's actually applying, and so it was just a much cleaner bill to take that part out as well.
House Minority Leader Cindy Munson attributing the change in part to work done by a Democratic representative.
I'm grateful to the Speaker that he listened to Oklahomans across the state, and he listened to members of our caucus, specifically Representative Arturo Alonso Sandoval, who has been doing a really great job trying to elevate what the consequences would be. I will say this, while I am grateful the Speaker did what he did, I still think it does create a little bit of harm because of the message that we're sending outside of the Capitol.
A bill on the Senate side relating to immigration is Senate Bill 1554. It has not been heard in committee yet, but aims to prevent organizations like nonprofits and churches from providing material support to undocumented immigrants or asylum seekers. The punishment for doing so would be a felony. It's a bill Senate Minority Leader Julia Kurtz says she's heard from her constituents about.
I'm deeply concerned that we're now pushing this federal decision-making about someone's immigration status down on nonprofits that might be serving someone who's in crisis. They might be feeding a hungry child. We cannot ask nonprofits to do that. We are providing a tax benefit for nonprofits, but otherwise they are doing the work. And so we should not be asking them to be immigration agents.
We'll keep following these bills as they make their way through the legislative process. Reporting at the state capitol, Paige Taylor, Fox 25 News.
We are already seeing strong reaction to the bill Paige just mentioned, Senate Bill 1554, which aims to prohibit and criminalize non-governmental agencies from providing support for the benefit of undocumented immigrants.
Under the proposal, if agencies violate the order, officers or members could go to prison. Fox 25's Rob Hagan at the Capitol. Rob, what response are you hearing?
Adam, Wendy, one nonprofit is strongly opposed to this measure, saying it would force them to conduct immigration screenings and prevent them from helping their fellow man. But the state senator who authored the bill says this is about preventing the state from bleeding funds that should go to Oklahomans. SB 1554 prohibits any non-governmental organization from providing material support for the benefit of any illegal immigrant or asylum seeker in the state. The measure provides that any officer or member of the NGO that provides such aid be guilty of a felony and subject to a term of imprisonment of 1 to 5 years and or a fine of up to $50,000. The measure provides for the Attorney General and the relevant district attorney to recover funds dispersed to the organization that violates the prohibition. The Homeless Alliance is strongly opposed to the measure, stating the nonprofit is not an enforcement agency to conduct immigration screenings for people seeking urgent help. CEO Megan Mueller sent Fox 25 News a statement saying, quote, threatening helpers with steep fines and prison time for providing food, shelter, medical care, or legal assistance is wholly egregious and runs counter to basic human decency. Author of the bill, State Senator Randy Grellner, says, quote, the bill is meant to keep state dollars from being used to entice illegal aliens recklessly into Oklahoma. The NGOs and charities are fine to use their own funds how they want to use them. Grellner says state funds should go to protecting Oklahomans, including veterans and the elderly. I went to the Homeless Alliance to hear from people in need, and that's where I found Pee Wee. Do you see a lot of undocumented immigrants getting help from places like this?
Man, we got more immigrants getting more help over here more than anything.
Grellner says the bill is going through a clarification process. Pee Wee says it all goes back to President Trump.
We got every foreign country you can think of over here. There ain't we can do about it. But leave him alone, you know? Let Trump do what he got to do. That's it.
A lot of high emotions on this topic. Now, SB 1554 is still in its early stages. The bill must go through the Senate and the House and be signed by Governor Sthat before it becomes a law. Live at the state capitol, Rob Hagan, Fox 25 News.
Thank you, Rob. And tonight we're also hearing from Senator James Lankford about federal legislation known as the SAVE Act, which would require people to show proof of citizenship when they register to vote.
The SAVE Act is a pretty simple bill that says it's already federal law that non-citizens cannot vote in our elections. We should verify that. When you register, you should have to show you're a citizen. By the way, that'd just be a real ID. Most Oklahomans have a real ID already. They've already gone through that process. And when you vote, you should be able to show ID. In Oklahoma, we already do that. Most states actually have a requirement that you actually have to show ID on it. I'm very supportive of this. This is a simple, straightforward, non-crazy idea just to be able to protect our elections.
The SAVE Act would also stop online voter registration as well as mail-in voting, and government-issued driver's licenses as well as military or tribal IDs would not work under the bill's requirements. Lawmakers are expected to meet this month to discuss the bill. This is earlier today at Nathan Hale High School in Tulsa. There was a walkout to protest against the actions of ICE and President Trump's immigration crackdown. Officials say more than 100 students took to the streets to voice their concerns while cars honked in support. The walkout, organized through social media, and school staff stayed outside with the students to make sure everybody was safe.
I'm pretty mad about it because they're taking away non-illegals away from their homes. Even though they were born in America, they're taking them back to where they don't know anybody. They're taking away from families, from relationships, from anybody they know.
In addition to Nathan Hale, students at Mustang High School also participated in a walkout this afternoon. According to Mustang Public Schools, classes continued as normal for all students who chose not to participate in the walkout. We're told their staff members also kept an eye on those who did walk out.
Senate Democratic leader Julia Kirk also touched on today's school walkouts during a hearing today.
I'm hearing from families that are scared to drive their kids to school as citizens, and they're still nervous about it because very much people are being profiled. I think that's what we're seeing in kids, is that they're concerned for their friends, they're concerned for their families, and so I hope we can find a reasonable level.
In a letter sent out to parents, Mustang School District says today's protest was not a school-sanctioned event. So students who attended would be counted as absent if they did not return back to class after lunch. Meanwhile, students across Texas held walkouts this week to protest against ICE and the Trump administration. In Leander, Texas, a peaceful protest took place yesterday, just one day after the Texas Education Agency released new rules regarding student protests. Students who now participate in walkouts in Texas must be marked absent, and teachers can lose their license if they are involved. School districts who facilitate walkouts may also face investigations and sanctions.
That was your big story breakdown. You can learn more about all the immigration bills filed this session on OKCFox.com.
Plus, you can head over to our YouTube page where you can watch all of our previous big story breakdowns. Just scan the QR code that you see on your screen or search OKC Fox.